Spacey Sims, and we're back with more Steam Prison, and we'll see, this may be the last part. We are going to finish up our after stories. We're going to get the grand ending story, but then there's a ton of other little side stories, so we'll see how far or how long the grand ending is, and then how long the other ones are, how far we get, so maybe a part and a half, I don't know, we'll see. So, because the other ones of these were relatively short, probably would have taken 10 to 15 minutes to read if I didn't yak through them, so this will probably take like an hour because it's the grand ending. Anyway, the Heights had adopted a new system about a year earlier.
Oh! This is it! Look at this, Ulrich.
Quiet down. You don't have to yell. I can hear you.
Shut up, be quiet!
What are you yelling about?
We're in public. Have you no shame?
You were the first one to yell! I love that it opens with these two. I will miss you.
You really have the best reaction to being made fun of. Here, look at this.
What about this stone statue of Sakie?
It's nice, don't you think?
Is he blushing? He looks like he's blushing like, What? No?
I want to make something like this too.
A statue of Sakie?
No, one of me.
Oh my god. Yes. What? Where are you gonna put it?
Oh, on Liberalitas's biggest street. It's going to be as big as this one and stand right in the center of it. What do you think?
Ugh, it's the worst idea I've ever heard. Shut up, that's the best goddamn idea. Please have a fountain around it I can throw pennies in.
You don't think one statue is enough? We could put them along the street at 10-meter intervals.
I like the fact that he, actually looks like he's considering it. Oh, Elcreed, you crazy son of a bitch. Just no. You'll impede traffic.
Fair enough. And that's too bad. We'll keep it at 1.
What? No, not just 1. Oh. No, not 1 either. Wow, I can't read today. What? No, not 1 either. Just give up. Why do you... Oh, why do you want one there? I don't know, I can't read. I can't, okay. Why do you want one there? It's ridiculous.
It would make me so proud. The people would be able to see me even when I'm not there. Wouldn't it make you happy too?
Make me happy. No. Think I have an easier time living far away from you.
Ah, there you go again. I know you love me, and that's why you came with me to the Heights, didn't you?
Of course not, you conceited dimwit. I'm here to make sure you don't do anything stupid. Not like I like looking after old farts.
Old farts? Did I hear that right? I'm 26. I'm in the prime of my life. Correct yourself. Actually, not just that. Call me an amazing man, smart, rich, and in the prime of my life. Now.
Definitely not. Are you actually a delegate now? I can't...
Hey, there's a new grocery store. Want to check it out? Call me smart and handsome and beautiful.
No, what the... Hey, look over there! Fucking the two just ran off. The fucking 2 of them together. I could probably play a game that was just 40 hours of the 2 of them going back and fucking forth with nothing else going on. It could be like a whole fucking anime, just the 2 of them. Just the fucking 2 of them and their fucking shenanigans. Nothing, I need it. They have to go out, they'll be fucking going out like Scooby-Doo gang, solving fucking mysteries. It'll be like Sherlock Holmes and Watson over here. We'd go solve mysteries and they'll get into all sorts of wacky hijinks that make no goddamn sense, but they'll just... Ulrich will be pissed and arguing the whole time, and Elcreed will just be all fucking over the place like a goddamn cracked up squirrel, and it'll be great. I need this in my life now. I would never stop watching it. Fucking ever. These 2 are what I live for. The rest of the game, is fine. But, you get to the point where you're like, okay, I mean, there's a point where you're like, it's getting a little dull. Then these 2 show up, and you're like, and here's the fun again. These two make it fun for me. I think that's my problem personally with the game, is I had so much fun with these two that when you do the other routes, you're like, it's not nearly as good. And it just feels like a letdown. There's nothing wrong with the game. The game is fine. It's not my favorite. But I love Elkreed and Ulrich so fucking much that I'd have been happy just playing them. Just doing their routes, their stories, and this. Just seeing them and nobody else. I don't care about the rest of the other characters. I care about these two. I don't know. You just sprinkle them in more often and it would have just kept me going the whole time and I wouldn't have felt kind of burnt out. But, oh God, I love them so much. Hey, El, I'm talking to you. Oh. God, I love Elkreed fucking so much.
Come in.
Excuse me. You were already here, Adage. I work for the temple, if you recall. Why are you wearing the old uniform? I was in the sanctuary district this morning for a hounds ceremony.
You're not a member anymore.
I'm not. Sasha Brandenburg sent me. Inez nodded and looked around the room. I thought I'd be the last one, but... I'm assuming this is Finn, because it's not me. I wouldn't be late.
I'm so sorry. There's one more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we wouldn't be fucking late stuttering in, okay? I'm not dumb here. You're not late, but you should still knock on the door.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking.
Alright, we're missing Elkreed and Ulrich. And where's your partner?
Spacey will be an hour late. The temple has a physical examination for female personnel today.
Ah, right. I was surprised by the foot traffic. I'm assuming this is Elkreed then. Because I'm gonna be late, so.
And the door's wide open. I assume that means I may enter. Yeah, thank you for coming, Elkreed. Excuse me, the disturbance. Thank you for the summons. I'm grateful for your time. You must be busy dividing your time between your roles as delegate, representative, and banking executive. And there's always work, but I thrive on it. The more there is, the more chances there are to shine. Oh.
Elkreed seemed to ponder something and told someone else to enter. Someone else entered. I love that. Someone else! We already know it's fucking Ulrich.
Hello, Ulrich. You're here.
Not because I want to be. Don't drag me along. I'm doing this for him, so you better be grateful.
Ulrich. It's alright. He didn't have to come here from the depths. Thank you, Ulrich. How are things going?
Average, I guess. Nothing dramatic has happened. I guess it's getting better slowly. Really slowly.
I see. Every little bit of change makes me happy. Thank you. Don't stand, everyone. Sit and make yourselves comfortable.
You have my gratitude. What's in that bag?
Pasta noodles! I was walking through the city and fell in love at first sight. I had to buy them.
At least in front of St. Une, you could stop talking about love.
Please, it's a private gathering. Have some forbearance. Do you object, St. Une? I don't mind. I'm just glad you're here.
Finn being an asshole. Fucking Elkreed. Finn, jump the fuck off the heights! Get out of here! Fuck you, Finn. Still don't like him. He ruined it! He ruined it by not liking Elkreed. How do you not love fucking Elkreed?
I said this in the letter as well, but it's been a year now since we made some changes. I'd like to hear your opinions and advice. Anything you have to say is valuable. I want to know everything.
Very well, then I... Stop! Shouldn't we wait for her?
Yes, I agree. We can't start without her. Where's Spacey? She'll be about an hour late due to an examination.
An examination? What's she studying? Nothing. The temple conducts physical examinations on its personnel once per year.
I see. I suppose they want to make sure that everyone lives a healthy life. Did you finish yours, Finn?
Yes, last week.
I see. So what happens after? What?
How's it going with Spacey? Are you going out? Did you tell her how you feel? Did you kiss? Fucking, that sounds like something more that Elcreed would ask, not Ulrich.
What?
Just as I thought. I win.
Darn. I'm disappointed in you, Finn.
Disappointed? Win? What are you talking about? We made a bet in the elevator about how far you two were along. I put my money on there being no progress at all. Right, because this is the grand ending. And if this is going to be like the single woman route, I'm not fucking being with Finn in the grand ending. I'm going for Elcreed again, motherfucker. Hell yeah, I want to marry Elcreed. Every route, Elcreed, all the way. That sounds fun. You should have let me join in. Someone else's life is not a subject of bets. It's in poor taste. All my hobbies are in poor taste. No harm done. Okay. I wish they hadn't made Adage so fucking forgettable, because he's not a bad character, and like, he has some smart-ass lines and shit, but it's like, but you made him just, you didn't have him anywhere else. You didn't, like, he was in his own route, and he was barely anywhere else, so it's like, you made him so forgettable, and it's such a disappointment, because he's so much better than that. It's actually got some funny shit. Besides, he must be interested in it too. Well, a little. How far do you think they've gotten then? Still colleagues, and partners on patrol. I doubt she has a man.
What a waste. She's so pretty. She has a large dog with her who barks at any suitor. He's right over there.
I love the fact that they're all picking on Finn and they're all like, she's hot, like, oh my god, taking bets. Bitch, you're wrong. I would so 100% go for Elcreed. Of course I do. Spacey doesn't deserve a weirdo. Yes, I do. You shut up. The weirdo's the best one here. And yet you don't make a move either. Now who's weird? Cute. And if you don't have the stomach for it, maybe I should take a shot. I love the fact that the grand ending is our harem route. Okay. Like, basically, we walk in and we're like, are you all taking bets on who I'm going to fall in love with? Psh. I get the money, because I bet all you bitches. You're in man harem. Well, okay. Elcreed and Ulrich. Inez can stay. Adage can stay. Yune, I don't just... You can stay as company, but we're not going to have a thing. I don't want to romance you. And Finn, just get the fuck out. Finn, just out. Just get the fuck out. I don't even want you here to shine my fucking boots, okay? Just get out. After his route, I would have been like, okay, but after the after stories that we did on the last part, I'm back on the fucking boat. We know that, okay? The train, the boat, the island, the plane, the fucking any mode to get the hell away from him.
What?
What about me? Do you think I'm weird? Inez, you're... Please don't tease me, everyone.
Better take your shot or it's not going to end with teasing. She's wonderful. I shall wait and see who wins her heart.
Like, Yune wasn't really interested in us at all before anyway.
Speak of the devil, it seems Spacey has arrived. Come in, we've been waiting for you.
That was actually the end of it? That's so fucking funny. Hold on, I gotta turn my like. I'm actually surprised that that went that fast, that it wasn't longer. But I actually kind of liked that it's like, oh, hey, blah, blah, instead of like, let's get into the politics and let's talk about, I thought that's where they were going to go. They were going to start talking about like, let's talk about this and that and this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like stuff that we don't, it doesn't really matter. The after story should be like light, fluffy, short. But, all right, well, that was actually kind of funny. All right, so we're going to read the Tistel. We're going to see if we can get through all of these. Some of them only have like one. Or this one only has one, but. Look, I did it! As soon as I open... Oh. I'm not sure if this is... I'm just going to read it normal, because I'm not sure if... I'm assuming it's our father. that we're running toward. I assume that was us. Like, look, I did it, I passed, but I don't know who, as a parent, is talking, so I'm just going to read normal. As soon as I opened the door, Spacey came running towards me. I'm assuming... I'm just going to go with it's our dad. We'll go with it's... We're Keith. Spacey, my girl, don't run inside the house. Oh, no, okay.
Spacey, my girl, don't run inside the house.
Stupid fucking Misty. I don't even want to... You know what? I hate them more than I hate Finn. Like, I know... Oh, no, our poor innocent parents. You didn't teach your daughter about sex, you jackasses. She's like 20. She's an idiot. You have... you know what? You deserved to be stabbed. Okay? That's so wrong. They didn't. But, like, they deserved a big smack upside the fucking head. Like, what is wrong with you? You set her up to look like an idiot. Anyway. Spacey stopped herself when my wife reprimanded her. She looked at me apologetically. Her cheeks were flushed and her eyes were sparkling.
Father, Mother, I passed the rank 1 police officer exams.
Her voice echoed through the silent building. Even the servants were listening.
Now you'll allow it, Mother, won't you? Spacey.
I can't speak in her voice. I don't know. My wife had always been against her daughter joining the police force. She'd been convinced by her, but she's still worried that her daughter would get hurt. Spacey wanted to drive her point home and gave her mother the letter.
I'll have to allow it.
She laughed and hugged Spacey.
And congratulations, Spacey. You worked really hard. Mother, both police officers and politicians have difficult jobs. It can consume them. Make sure you don't lose sight of what's important. If you have something you want to talk about, talk to us. Don't let it eat into you. We're your family. Of course, Mother.
My wife noticed me looking at them and she said, Dear.
Don't you want to say something?
I suppose...
I was just
surprised since you said something so unusually sensible. What, she's a woman? She can't be sensible? I mean, you know what, Keith, I'm kind of with you. This woman didn't teach her daughter about sex. Or where babies came from. I'm sorry. My wife gave me a surprise look.
That's not fair.
I'm just joking. But women aren't known to be sensible. The fuck? She pouted, not being sure that was true. Her gestures were still the same as they had been when she was young. I wondered if that also goes for me. I'd like to think that I was still young mentally, but the same didn't go for my body. Soon my daughter was going to marry and move out. Oh no, you're going to end up dead. Oh wait, no, not. Because grand ending, you survive. At that point, half of my duty to the Heights would be complete. And eventually, we'll all die. It's the fate of parents to leave the world behind for their children. And mine was also to devote everything to my beloved family while I lived. Everything to the daughter I loved so much. Aww. Congratulations. You worked hard, Spacey. Okay. Sashin! Yes! I don't think I can be as hostile in Sashin's voice as I've been, so... Also, for some reason, I'm like, why do I forget his voice? Anyway, I was born into a family of teachers. We were neither rich nor poor. I myself was neither outstandingly bad nor good. And that was who Sashin Brandenburg was in the Heights. I'm so excited about this. We get a little... This is as much backstory as we're ever going to get. Just the little bit in Inez's route, that one little... the other story, and then it's like, oh my god, I'm so excited. But I had feelings, too. I had at least as much ambition as the average person, and perhaps more. Hard work was going to sate my ambition. Others could betray me, but I'd never betray myself. I grew up believing that as long as I didn't give up, I could succeed. But as I grew up, I realized that hard work alone couldn't change some things. Oh, the aristocrats. Birth alone determined who could be one. I would never be. I was never discriminated against, but I hated them. I was never discriminated against. I hated the people who didn't have to work for their position. So I decided to become a police officer. I didn't care about the citizens. I wanted to become a bureaucrat. Our government was nominally democratic, but dominated by the nobles. And the nobles appointed other nobles to open positions and so on. Without being a peer, one could not become a politician. Unable to become a politician, I wanted to rise through the bureaucracy. Oh, I can't say that in his voice. Everyone else was an idiot. They only cared about justice or swinging a sword around. I knew that if I played my cards right, rising all the way was possible. I have to study if I want to make it. I wasn't going to end as a pebble in a quarry. I was going to change my fate. He was like so determined and they got chucked out. You kind of just say, he's like, screw this, I'm going to change my fate and I'm going to be better. And then you get thrown to the heights and you're like, son of a bitch! Oh. Why am I going to the hounds? This is the rise and fall of Sasha. Oh my god. I knew the reason. My partner had been corrupt. It caused my life plan to be thrown off course. This is the worst. I sighed and leaned back. It was my second time in the elevator. The first time had been my observation mission after the rank 2 exams. I don't remember what I did on the mission except walking around. Here's the sad part. So your partner's corrupt and they blame you because you should have seen it and should have stopped it. But if you saw and you went to someone that was like, oh my god, my partner's corrupt and I caught them doing bad things, you'd still end up down in the depths. It wouldn't be like, good for you, you caught them. It'd be like, oh, well, I mean, they were also your partner, so I mean, the fact that they even became corrupt at all is clearly your fault. The fuck? Well, no wonder why nobody reports it and everybody's like, oh wait, you're corrupt, I guess I'll be too. Might as well. Going to hell anyway. Like, you're literally going to be sent to the depths regardless. What the fuck? Like, you want the corruption to spread by doing this. I mean, Jesus. I had pretty bad motion sickness. I don't like it. My eyes snapped open. I listened to the rumbling of the machinery and felt it rocking back and forth. I hated feeling like my innards were being shaken around. I should have taken sickness medicine. I'd known I would have to take the elevator. I was crying over spilled milk, as they say. Grumbling at my own decision, I waited for the elevator to arrive. And finally, after a particularly large shake, the elevator stopped. I'd been in there so long that my body felt like it was still rocking back and forth. I straightened my clothes, took my baggage, and left. There was nobody outside. I looked around. Nobody was anywhere close. Is nobody here to take me? I'd been assigned to the hounds and hadn't expected to be treated well, but that's really cold. I sighed, and that was when I felt something cold against my neck. Gotcha! The woman punched me hard. Ow! I turned around. You know, it's Thea. I knew it. Like... Sorry, I think that was too much. She laughed at me. Her clothes. I clicked, it didn't go. She was... You must be the commander of the hounds. I am. I'm Thea Scone. I'm your superior from now on. Hi there, Sashin. She held out her hand to me. There was a bottle of liquor in it. I was too confused to do or say anything. She only said sorry and laughed. It's kind of funny, because you basically... I want to say you grew up. You were raised in the hounds. You are raising of being a wolf cub into being a hound, right? This you know, whole thing. Is with Thea, and she's actually kind of a good person. And yet, when it's your fault she died, you went batshit insane and started beating the fuck up out of everybody. Like, Sashin, I said, this is why we need a route. He's so complex. I want to know. Like, you get why he's bitter and angry and, like, whatever, and just everything is, like, snowballing into... Kind of like Finn, he started out crazy and obsessed and just snowballed into being a psychopath. And, like, Sashin, even though I should hate him because he's an asshole, I like him better than Finn. And I shouldn't. Because he's an abusive asshole. But you're like... But I read this and I'm like... You were kind of already a little angry and bitter. You were a little bitter cupcake. You're a little bitter muffin. Aww. So cute. And then, like, you just got worse. And then you made it worse. You were the one that got her killed. It was an accident. You didn't mean to. But you blame yourself, so then you just decide to, like... mentally snap and start beating the shit out of people? Like, Sasha, what? Huh? Sasha, sweetie, he just needs a hug. My little bitter muffin needs a hug, okay? Like, we needed a Sasha route, though. I didn't need a Finn route. Fuck that shit, take it away. But give me a fucking Sasha route, alright? Anyway. You took your sweet time, so I had to pass it somehow. And the bottle kept me company. I see. I could smell the liquor, too. Is she really my superior? Couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. But the uniform was real. I have no choice but to obey. I straightened myself and suppressed the urge to complain. I'm Sasha Brandenburg. I look forward to working for you. Nice to meet you, Commander. You too. Let's get along as fellow exiles. Get along? I hadn't been sent there to make friends. I click it, but it doesn't go. She noticed how tense I was. Don't stare like that, pretty boy, she said and laughed. Being able to trust each other is good. Especially here in the Sanctuary District. We need that trust to make the best of it. That was all rather meaningless from a person I had only just met. But instead of pointing this out, I nodded. I'll do my best not to be a burden. I wanted to be as polite as possible to be on the safe side. Well, aren't you a defensive one? She said and shrugged. I'm sure you'll open up in time as well. We're gonna spend a lot of time together. Probably. Perhaps not, I guess. Which is it? It could be either. That's the sort of place this is. She stabbed at my chest with her finger. They hate us people from the Hounds. Let your guard down and they'll kill you. And it can all happen in the blink of an eye. We need to be able to trust each other if we want to stay alive. Feel like trusting me yet? I'll consider it. That's cute. I want to be Thea and have a romance route with Sasha. Like, I also want to be Spacey and have the romance route. I want to be Thea and have the romance route with Sasha, like, when he came down here and he was not as psycho. And then I want to, like, have the after. I want to see both. I need both. I need the before and after. Anyway. Before I could ask about this, she walked away. There's a lot to teach you. Don't fall behind, Sash. Of course. What? I'll call you that. We need a nickname if we want to get along. Weird woman. The motion sickness had been blown away by her behavior. But my head hurts when I think about how she's my superior. If the criminals annoyed me, I could fight them. Naturally, I couldn't strike my superior. I was worried it wouldn't work out. Alright. I'm not sure if this is Inez or Thea again, but we'll just say Sash. It was an otherwise unremarkable afternoon. My colleague Inez had come with a metal banging against metal. My colleague Inez had come with metal banging against metal. So, Sash. That was Inez. Okay, now we know. He was carrying a sword in his belt and one in his hand. I have a bad feeling about this. I pretended not to hear him. He tapped me on the shoulder. I couldn't ignore him any longer. I turned around and asked him what he wanted. The commander wants you to train with the sword with me. Again? She just doesn't... I was more of a cerebral person and preferred doing administrative work for the Hounds. It's actually kind of funny. Because he's like, I don't want to train with the sword, man! And then he becomes so fucking good with the sword. Like, so good. Somebody who didn't want to. And then look what you did! By training him, you created a monster! Oh my god. Calculating rations and wages, registering new criminals, that sort of thing. The hounds needed someone like me too among the brawny types. And yet the commander wanted me to train. She was bullying me. It had to be. She had to be bullying me. Oh, sweetie, she's just looking out for you. She's like, you need to train, because if you don't know how to use a sword, someone's going to kill you. But if you stay inside, but you know what I mean? Like, he's like, no, I just want to stay inside and count shit. Like, give me a spreadsheet. I'm fine. Like, I don't need training. I'm terrible. And that's why you need it. I'll never be decent. I lack the talent. And yet, I love how he's so down on himself. He's like, what? I'm not good at this. And then he becomes fucking amazing. I didn't hate working out. I liked it well enough. There was just no point to it in the depths. I'm not good enough with a sword to put it to much use. I'd rather do something where I'm useful. I knew that I was right. You have the potential. I don't. You do. You're left-handed. What is he talking about? Isn't that proof that I don't have potential? Whoa, 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 whoa. This isn't like Hakuoki era Japan where like left-handed was fucking wrong. It's okay. Like we're in steam prison territory. I don't even know where the fuck we live, but I'm pretty sure they're not a freak because you're left-handed. Yeah, you are. You're a freak if you're left-handed. I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? But like, kidding. You're not a freak if you're left-handed. You're a freak if you're ambidextrous, okay? Because that's a little fucking weird. Like, I'm mildly fucking weird. There's shit I cannot do right-handed. My right hand cannot handle certain tasks. It is like it's like if you're right-handed and you try to write with your left hand, or vice versa, it's like, this is difficult. You think, oh, I can easily write my name, but then try to do it with the opposite hand, you're like, what? It's weird. There's just certain shit that's the way for my right hand, I can't do it. Like, I can't put my contacts in right-handed. I can take them out right-handed. But I have to put them in left-handed. If I do it right-handed, it's like, oh god, I'm gonna poke myself in the eye. You'd think I'd have more dexterity in my right hand, since I'm right-handed, just pop my contacts in. Nope. Nope, my right hand will jab me in the damn eye. And yet, taking them out can easily take them out. But I have to put them in left-handed. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. That's a little fucking weird. But, you know, I'm just saying. Enos put a hand on the hilt of his sword and gave me a thoughtful look. I'd rather be left-handed if I had the choice. What? Why? If I'm right-handed and you're left-handed and we face each other, our swords are directly opposite. Enos threw the sheathed sword to me. I pulled it out. Oh, you're used to fighting righties, but I hardly ever fight lefties. It's very unsettling. Left-handed people always have an advantage. So you say, but I've never won against you. You just need more experience. And then look what happens. Even if I start practicing now, I'll never win against a battle-born dork like you. Potential, I thought. I never thought of being left-handed as potential. Who's saying it's not often you talk this well? I feel like this would be Sasha and Inez. Like, it's not often you talk this well. Because, and then Inez would be the one saying, true, I'm not a good talker. Because Inez doesn't seem like the talking type and Sasha does, right? And that's why I'm contributing with my sword. For my friends and the hounds. His sense of devotion and justice was weird to me. We were in the sanctuary district. Nobody was going to thank him for it. Still, I liked being around him. He had something I didn't. See, like, Sasha actually gives a shit about people. Oh my, we beat his route. They're never going to give us this. 30 minutes. Oh, 30 minutes. Let's go. He was just going to wear me out, I knew. I wasn't going to improve at all. But that was alright. I was happy to hang out and act like we were friends. Aww. Sasha loved Inez. That's so cute. I love it. Sasha, you're so adorable. Priscilla was dead. Oh, we're in Glissad's thing now, in case you didn't see me click that. I'm just like, oh, click, next thing we go. Here we are in Glissade. Anyway.
She was dead because I was inadequate, because I hadn't paid enough attention. And the countless parts I had assembled from recessives had given life to a miracle. It was I who had slashed the thread of life. I grieved so much I could hardly breathe or think. As I grieved her, the temple security summoned me. They wanted me to examine prisoners being sent to the depths. Ordinarily, this would be performed by a temple doctor, but if the doctor is sick, someone else has to do it. I just didn't understand why that someone had to be me. Without a reason to refuse, I had to go to the facility where the man was held. I was searched and went inside. The room I was led to had no windows, but there were pictures on the wall. There were 2 chairs and a simple cabinet. It was clean as far as prisons went.
If they're gonna send me someone, why can't they send me a woman?
The man was middle-aged, unshaven, and shackled. He looked at me with empty resignation. Why, hello there. Hello there.
This isn't exactly the voice we gave Glissade, but I can't quite do it. And he's turning into a slightly crazier version of Finn, but at the same time, you know what? It works, because Finn is insane. Oh my god, Glissade was actually Finn all along. Like some weird time paradox shit. Okay.
I smiled affably and walked up to him. I wanted to do it fast. He's going to be sent to the Sanctuary District anyway. Why should this be done anyway? I resigned myself to it and leaned down to open my bag. He spat on my hand.
Life sucks, eh?
The man grinned at me. The patients at the hospital sometimes didn't behave well either, but I'd always been able to tolerate it because they were patients, and there was a reason to try and save them. But this man, he was worthless. Society had thrust him out. He had no value to me. Why is someone like him alive? My beloved Priscilla had died, and yet this man had committed a crime and still lived. It wasn't fair. It just wasn't fair. I suppressed the urge to wail and put a needle into him. The empty syringe filled with the man's blood. Blood as worthless as the being it belonged to. Oh, that's right. I had skills. Skills I had acquired while extracting life from worthless recessives. There are a lot of worthless people in the Sanctuary District. I thought that if I used the worthless people there, I might be able to bring Priscilla back. The criminals were no better than garbage to the people in the Heights. They didn't care what happened to them. Weren't they recruiting a doctor to work in the facility there? Ha ha. The man groaned when he saw me laugh.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Sorry. The man was worthless, but he was worth something to me. I carefully took his blood, figuring I had shown some courtesy. I had to show some courtesy. Maybe that's what he meant to say. I have to finish up here for Priscilla. Parts of her still remain, thankfully. She wasn't completely dead. She was still alive. I can see light. It's not over yet. I had to get it done. I had to get back to work and bring her back. Oh, Priscilla, my beloved girl. I will wake you up again.
This crazy motherfucker. Did we need Glissade's perspective? I don't know. No, I mean, it's interesting, but it's still like trippy anyway. I don't remember Cordova's voice, but anyway. Who'd have thought they... Oh, wait. Someone's saying, who would have thought they would make rank 2 officers so early? I'm not sure if that's Cordova or someone else, but anyway. Spacey to Stella and Finn Euclid. I watched them disappear on their observation mission inside. Promotions weren't rare, of course. Rank 1 to rank 2, rank 2 to rank 3, all police officers wanted to be promoted. But they're too young. They'd only entered the force 2 years earlier. Not many were in such a rush to be promoted. After the entrance exams, I'd asked Tistella if she had any particular reason to join. I want to help people, she'd said. If that was her only reason, she could have done it as a rank 1 officer. And then she'd said she wanted to help even more, and she'd left. And she passed the exam. When she came up again, she'd be a fully fledged Rank 2 officer. I hope she can channel her passion and sense of justice appropriately. I thought darkly upon our situation. I pitied the men who didn't understand their position and found no outlet for their misguided justice. We have to remember that we're just parts of a whole. We were the observers that kept the people of the Heights in check. The police were nothing else but that. But I'm not bereft of feelings. I don't want to lose anyone. This time I was going to make sure. Stella wasn't going to stray from the right path. Until then, we know... I feel like this is the before he knew what was going to happen, and they're like, oh, by the way, we just murdered her parents, and you're going to threaten... He's like, the fuck? Because, I mean, he's a corrupt asshole. But, like... He's like, I'm a corrupt asshole, but, like, she's a good kid. Okay. Oh, alright, I guess. Okay. Gotta go with this guy. Like, it's kind of weird. Because you think that, like, he shows up as nice and jolly, and you're like, oh, Sir Cordova, he's like a nice guy. And then when he turns into, like, be backstabby, you're like, you lying bastard. But no, he was a generally happy guy. Shady as fuck. But, like, didn't actually want to do you any harm until fucking Warner Evans and his son fucking killed your parents. And he's like, alright, now I guess to the depths with you. Like, it's fucking weird. Weird. Alright. Having an incompetent child is a lot of work. I only realized this when I had one. He sounds more like Sasha now, but whatever. Fitzgerald Evans. I'd given him the name of my beloved grandfather, but he was barely even mediocre. His intellect was average. He had no talents. My wife always said that neither was he particularly bad at anything, but I was unimpressed. You want to feel bad for Fitzgerald Evans, but at the same time, like, you still killed my parents, you prick. But, like, dude, you grew up with a douche of a dad. Finn kind of grew up with parents that... Well, Finn's parents weren't as bad as Warner Evans, and Finn killed a lot of people. I'm just saying. You never thought you'd look at it and be like, well, Fitzgerald Evans is less of a douche than Finn, compared to how they grew up. Huh. Fitzgerald also had a bad tendency to be entranced by his own status. I used my own position as well, but... I was independent. I truly endeavored to do a good job as the speaker and to be worthy of the position. I only hoped my son would learn from that. I don't know who's saying, may I speak to you, Lord Warner? Anyway. Oh, may I speak to you, Lord Warner? A man spoke to me after a session of the Parliament. Oh, Keith Tistella. Oh, okay, well, it's our dad. Okay, now we know. He was the father of Fitzgerald's fiancée, Spacey. What is it, Tistella? I'd like to talk about my daughter's betrothal. I thought it'd be about the session, but it wasn't. Tistella continued. He said his daughter had not yet tried on a wedding dress. The wedding ceremony had to be moved, he said. He seemed very apologetic, but something I cared very little about. Yes, it doesn't matter. The temple selected one's fiancé in the Heights. As for me, I had pulled some strings to make sure that Fitzgerald would marry the Tistella daughter. I didn't do it because I was fond of her looks or personality. I merely thought she'd be easy to manipulate. The Tistellas were nobles, but not particularly high in rank. The girl was not going to sully the name of Evans nor pose a danger. And that was all. Ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! She'll be easy to manipulate. She volunteered to be a cop. Instead of being like, no, but I can't wait to have a husband to take care of me. You really thought she was going to be easy to manipulate? Are you fucking stupid? Pick the one woman who, of noble birth, didn't want to be like, yay, pretty dresses, like wanted to be a cop. There's probably a million others. Okay, there's at least a handful of other girls in the same rank and position as us that are like,
I absolutely love being like rich and having money, and I just need a good like husband with a good name, and it'll be like amazing.
that you could have fucking probably picked. Like, there's definitely got to be at least a handful of twatty girls out there. And you picked the one who volunteered to be a cop, and you thought she'd be easy to manipulate. I just don't understand. You are not very smart for the Speaker of the House. Like, you are really fucking stupid. Holy shit. There should have been an intelligence exam. And you thought your son was stupid? I guess the apple didn't fall so far from the dumb tree, did it? Wow. Anyway. Fitzgerald was never going to accomplish anything. Even with the advantages of his birth, he was incapable of demanding work. My hopes for the future, my grandchildren. As long as they had a child in the medium term, I cared about nothing else. And that's all right, but we can't wait 10, 20 years. Yes, it won't take that long. Testella put a hand on his chest and nodded to me. We'll be a family before long. You don't need to be so formal. Oh. Oh, that was him saying that. We were saying that. We said that. Really? Warner Evans was like, well, we'll be a family before long. You don't need to be so formal. I just figure everything he says in a nasty tone. Because he always looks like he smelled shit. Right? Anyway. I patted his shoulder and left. Not that I'm doing this out of altruism. The Testellas were worthless to me. They were the food which the Evans family needed to grow. To them, I suppose, there was no greater honor. Enjoy it while it lasts. Live happy in your ignorance. Until we decide to kill you. Because of Glazad. I was very happy. Oh, this is Fitzgerald, by the way. I just keep clicking him past. I was very blessed. I walked briskly through the dark night on my way to my target. When I looked up, I could see the starry sky. It's beautiful. There wasn't a single cloud. I imagined my future to look the same. Oh. You're about to kill my parents, aren't you, bitch? The Warners were the most famous family in the Heights. None didn't know their name. I was lucky enough to be born as their descendant. One mention of my name and I was accorded every kindness. This bitch. I worshipped my father. He was the Speaker, the most important political position. He was at the very center of this country. He was a strict father, but out of kindness. Otherwise, he would not have given me something so important to do. He could have ordered a servant to do it if he hadn't thought only I could. Oh, this kid really is a fucking moron. But he trusted me, and he had ordered me. I liked being able to fulfill his wish. His only wish was the prosperity of the Heights. The prosperity of the Heights was also the prosperity of the Warner family. The more I could do for him, the better my future would be. I could be proud of that. It meant I deserved being the heir of it all. All right, Father. His orders were complicated, but I never questioned them. And there was no reason to. My father was always right. Even now, this is some, like, Stockholm level bullshit. Like, he's, like, got some, like, this is... I thought Finn was crazy. There is way too much fucking crazy in the Heights. Okay? All I am saying, how the fuck did we manage to not grow up goddamn insane? Because everybody up here is fucking insane. Like, literally fucking, like... I mean, like, crazy, wrong serial killer insane. I knew there were good reasons to ask me to kill them. Murder of 2 people. It was my first time. I knew it probably wasn't going to be easy, but probably doable. My father asked me to do it, so it has to be. If he thought I couldn't do it, he would have asked someone else. No, because then he can send you down the river and not himself. I have no idea why he did this. Because he doesn't love you. Sad. He was always right. He never made mistakes. I'm not afraid. And the opposite, if anything. This is going to be great. I had to kill Keith Testella and Misty Testella. They were the parents of Spacey Testella, my fiancé. I'm surprised that I'm not supposed to kill Spacey. I was glad about it, considering her skill with the sword. I was going to sit on the seat vacated by Keith Testella. And after some time in the back benches, eventually, I will be Speaker. I will rule the Heights. This was the future promised to me. The murders that night were the first step. I was excited. I have to get it done. My father expects it. This motherfucker. I might hate him a little bit more than Finn, but like, he's so inconsequential. But like, Jesus Christ, you and Finn both. Are you sure you're not related? Oh my god. Warner Evans is Finn's real father. Because they both inherited the insanity. I stopped for a moment to swear this to myself. I meant Fitzgerald and Finn. Oh, they both have F names. They both inherited the insanity that Warner Evans procreated with their mom. Because I swear to God, they have to be, like, there's, like, conspiracy theory right there. The Distella house was in front of me. All right, let's go. My future required their deaths. This fucking psycho. Oh, okay. That was it. Alright, Vice. That was the guy who was gonna be like, shake down the heights, crash it! You know what? You had the right idea. I don't remember what voice he had. Because he was barely in Ulrich's route, but anyway. Well, someone's saying, shit, this looks terrible. I don't know if it's us. I'd just come back from a trip to a different district to find the area around our hideout in flames. Nobody I knew was anywhere to be seen. I walked around the area and the smoke ended up stinging my nose. I can't, like... Figure he probably... Actually, maybe he did have the... We never gave anybody this voice. Let's give him this voice. It'll be fun. It's gonna hurt, but it's only gonna be a few minutes anyway. It was the smell of burning corpses. The fire didn't kill all of them. Some had been shot or smashed in the head. I knew some of them, but not others. I heard a groan and turned around. You! Boss! Before he could say anything, he went down on one knee. With a thump, he collapsed. The shape, the clothes. He has to be the boss. Wait, were we the ones saying that to him, or... Anyway, I ran over to make sure. Yeah, it's him. Oh no, this is Vice's perspective. Yeah, okay, no, Vice wasn't the boss. Okay. I was like, we wouldn't be talking about Vice dying, right? Yeah, okay. He was the boss of Verator, or Veron, or whatever. I never could pronounce that right. The man I worked for. Someone's attacked Verator, Verata, whatever. I come back because I heard reports. Still had no good intelligence on the matter. At least the reports that our hideout was being attacked were correct. You are with Verator. Verata? I don't know. I wish they'd stop saying it because I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce the A with 2 dots over it, bitch. I don't know. The boss was struggling to speak to me, shaking everywhere. He'd been shot in the left thigh. His pants were stained red. Half of his face was burned as well. Struggled to look at him. The boss looked at my arm with his only remaining eye. There was a black and yellow cloth wrapped around my right arm. The sign I was a member of Verator. Verator? Yeah? The boss coughed up blood as he fumbled for something in his pockets. He retrieved a small key. The warehouse. Emergency. Huh? Can't even understand him. I had to guess. We had an emergency hideout in the warehouse district. Apparently he wanted me to take him there. Emergency hideout? Well, isn't that interesting? I took the key and put it into my pocket. I'll stop the blood flow first, boss. I knelt down next to the boss and ripped away some clothes from my sleeve. Just kidding. I rammed the cloth down the throat of the boss. You don't even remember my name. Why would I rescue you? His face became more and more pale. He looked at me with rage and fear, but I wasn't afraid. Don't worry. I'll make the best possible use of that safe house. Pulled out my gun and leveled it at his forehead. Die for me. I pulled the trigger. It was just a little twitch of the muscle and the boss was dead. This ugly man who had ordered me around. I had killed him. Serves you right. I had nothing against Verator, but I wasn't too attached to them either. I just sided with them because they had influence. Really, that was it. I lived life my own way. Thanks for this reward for my service. I stood up and pushed him over with my foot. Bye, boss. Wow. Okay, well, that only took an hour. So yeah, that was... Oh, wait, no, where am I? Oh, gallery, that's what I want. Other... These were all ones we saw in the original one, so we're just gonna stop. here with all of our boys. Oh, Elkcreed, look at me. Elkcreed, this way. Look at me. Elkcreed. Anyway, yeah, so that was a ride. I still hate Finn, but I love Elkcreed and Ulrich. And honestly, like them, like it gets to the point where sometimes you read these, you're like, okay, yep, right. I hate to say it, like Inez is not a bad person or a character. He just felt a little boring. It's unfortunate. And poor Adage kind of just forget that he exists. And then like Yune's story was good, but like again as a love interest, no. And it was a little, his route, he has an interesting backstory and I appreciated being able to read that. Like, oh, okay. But you as a love interest, that was a little bizarre and I didn't quite, it wasn't like, oh, okay. It was like, it's a little weird feeling. Finn, his route, just taking it on its own wasn't bad, but you have to like block off all the crazy fucking psychopathic bullshit he did, which is hard for me to do. And also, you just have to stop, you have to forget that he's fucking obsessive and crazy inside. Like, sure, oh, he has a crush on you and he loves, and he would do anything for you, but like, he's just way too obsessive about it. Being able, like, reading his after stories and, like, being in his crazy, I was like, yeah, no, we're right back on that train that I just don't like you. So I think, in a way, as the game is progressing, the routes just get worse for me. Like, I loved Elkcreed. And I liked Ulrich. Elkcreed's my number 1. Ulrich is the number 2. Adage's route. Adage isn't a bad character. I would have liked him more, but he was just never around, so you forgot that he existed. And I forget his route, really, which is a shame, because I think I actually enjoyed his route, and I like him, but he's so in the background and all that they just make him easily forgettable, and I don't like that, you know? And then Inez wasn't bad either, like, so they're kind of like a toss-up. Like, I feel like Inez's route wasn't the greatest, but he's not a bad character. He's not my favorite, but I don't like, oh god, no. It's like, oh yeah, no, he's fine. But you know, but then, and then like Yune just, again, an okay character, but like as a side character, not as somebody I want to date. Plus the romance in it was just really weird. It was like, let's halfway, you were mostly through the route and it was like, let's go on a date. We'll start dating. And you're like, really? We're gonna, and then, oh, okay, I guess I'm in love with you. Wait, what the fuck just happened? They forced the romance in and it felt weird. The rest of his route was fine, but the forcing it's like you could have had them naturally kind of start to like each other, or maybe he started that earlier than like, you're like, we've got like 5 minutes left of this route, and it's like, let's start dating. I guess. Oh, now we're in love. The fuck? And then like Finn just no. Just no. Just no. Just no. So like, it's unfortunate because you play the best routes first. And, like, usually, like, you'll play, like, okay, this route, and, like, sometimes you go in between. You're like, I really like this route. Or, and then you're like, well, this one's boring. And then, like, and then you go in between. You know, you mix them up or something. Or you don't, like, I feel like it was just a decline as we went. Which makes me, at the end of it, be like, yeah, I mean, I feel like my overall impression of the game is, like, not as good as it was in the beginning. Like, in the beginning, it was like, this is great, but it's the same thing as, like, when we started this part. I was like, oh, okay, I gotta just finish this, get it over with. And then you have Elkcreed and Ulrich just bickering with each other and being themselves, and it was like, I love them. If it was just the two of them the whole time, it would have been, I would have loved it. Every fucking second of it. But overall, I don't think I hate the game. Like, I don't hate the game at all. I think it had a lot of moments where I was like, okay, are we done? Like, it felt kind of tedious sometimes. And again, that could also just be because I had to record parts that weren't the most thrilling a second time, which is just hard to do, and I think that soured it a little bit. Plus Finn. Like, I mean, the week started this. We started Finn's route off, like, I don't know how this is gonna work, and I don't think I'm gonna like him, and being like, okay, alright, he's not bad. Okay, fine. Okay. Finn's route was good. Okay, it was good. It was enjoyable. I don't hate Finn. And then he just brought it right back around. He just being in his head. I think if I never read the after stories, I would never have not read the after stories. But if, like, they didn't exist, like, I mean, like, yes, the one in Yude's stories where it's like, he's come back and he's like, I'm crazy and I killed all these people for her. You're like, that was the bad Finn. The abused by Sasha and bad Finn. And I know so many people are going to make excuses. Well, I mean, he was like abused by Sasha and blah, blah, blah. But he started out crazy. Because you can even see it reading in his perspective, even from the good ending. Like, I'm in love with her and I just can't tell her that she's so cute. And how about, and he's just like, no, I don't want to be in your head. It feels like a gross place and I don't like it. Like, and it's just me personally. I personally just don't like Finn. And I personally just didn't want to be in his head. And it soured it for me again. Because I probably could have gotten past it and been like, no, your route's okay. Because it was. But then you put me in his goddamn creepy fucking stalker brain. And I was like, no, we're right back on that. No, this creeps me out and I don't like it. Like, and even the grand ending after story was like, oh, Finn, are you going to tell her that you're in love with her? Ha! And like, yes, then they all start joking, well, maybe I'll ask her out. Haha. But it's still almost like the game is like, well, Finn's still in love with you. And they're all betting on if he's going to ask you out. So it's like the game is being like, Finn's the true route. And I'm going to tell the game that needs to go fuck itself. Because no, I ain't having any of this bullshit. Like, I don't know. But Elcreed and Ulrich are what saved this for me, and I could just go back and play Elcreed's route on fucking repeat, and just be like, I don't even want the romance, but I love Elcreed, and I want to romance the shit out of the man, but I just want to watch him and Ulrich bicker back and forth. I want an anime in my life where they just go out and solve fucking mysteries, and they just are at each other's throats, slinging shit, and like, Ulrich's getting all mad and saying shit, and then Elcreed's like, oh, look, like, running off and, like, being a hyperactive fucking squirrel on crack. I just need this. I just need it. And I just hope it goes on for, like, 500 seasons and it just never ends. Because it would just be so much fun. But even if it was, like, one season, I would just watch it on repeat and be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It'd be so great. That's all I want in my life. I just want that. I want the adventures of Elcreed and Ulrich, okay? They are the greatest things in this fucking game. They are the best part of this damn game. And I also want a Sasha round, okay? Because, like, I know I should hate him, and here's where I'm weird. Everybody else, but Finn is this, that, nah, fuck Finn. But, like, could we marry Sasha? Because, like, I know he's crazy, and he'd probably beat me and assault me. I think he did, actually, in a bad ending. Okay, and lock me in that prison cell, but, like, and ages ago when we started this channel and I played fucking Amnesia Memories and they put me in a cage and I was like, fuck that shit. Now I'm like signing up for that. I don't know. Look, I got problems. And Finn is one of them. Sasha is not. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this. This is the only episode I think going up today for this, obviously. And I don't know what's going to happen next week. I have not planned that far in advance, so I don't know if we're going to keep doing where we have, if we have another Otome that's going to go up on Sundays, if we have something shorter. I don't really know. This is into January. There are other games that are coming out either sometime in January, coming out the end of 2020. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm not really sure what's going to be next week, or, I mean, it's still going to be obviously whatever normally goes up on Sundays for the every other day thing, between Pio Fiore and Cafe Enchanté. I kept calling it Enchanta, and I realized one day, I'm like, it's probably Enchanté, like French. And I'm like, wow, I'm really dumb. But, I mean, that would make more sense, but I don't know French, so. But it makes more sense. I'm like, smart! Anyway, that one. I'm assuming both of them are still kind of going on. I don't know. Anyway, But yeah, so I don't know what we're going to be doing, what next week will hold or whatnot, but we have at least our 2 other Otomes going up, and the intention is still going to be that we'll have both of those. Again, nothing has changed with that. So, but yeah, at any rate, we've got those other ones, and maybe we'll start something new, maybe we won't. Like I said, I don't know, we'll see, but I will see you guys around in other things. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.